Hi friend, and welcome. Today we're cooking up a Southern favorite, country fried steak. Now this is a very simple recipe. It can get a little messy, but it's extremely simple, extremely easy to do. So what I'm doing here is I'm just creating the wet mixture, and all that is 1.5 cups of whole milk and 2 large eggs. So I'm just mixing those together. And in the second dish, we're going to do the dry mixture, and that's 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of seasoned salt, and freshly ground black pepper. And I'm just going to mix that together. Once you get these two mixtures done, this really does come together pretty quickly. So for the meat, I've got 4 pretty large cube steaks. And I'm just, I have a mixture of salt and pepper in that little dish, and I'm just putting that on both sides of the steak. Now I do have a cast iron skillet on the stovetop, and in that skillet I've put in 1/2 cup of avocado oil, and I'm just letting that warm up a little bit while I get this meat prepared. So once the meat is seasoned, we're going to first dip it into the flour mixture. And then it's going into the egg and milk mixture. And then it's going to go back into the flour mixture. And we're going to cover that really well. And then I'll just set it to the side while I get the other pieces done. Like I said, this can get a little messy. So we're going to do each piece just like that. Well, these are actually really large pieces of cube steak. I could have cut those in half and got more servings out of it, but it worked out fine for us. Okay, so now I'm just going to put these into the skillet, and we're doing 2 at a time. You don't really want to crowd this or it can affect the cooking time. So we're going to pop that in there, and I am cooking those 4 minutes on each side, and I've added a little bit of butter just for extra flavor. 4 minutes actually will leave you with a little bit of a pink center, not very pink, just a little. So if you don't like a pink center, you want it well done, then I would probably add maybe another 30 seconds on each side. You just want to watch and make sure that the breading doesn't burn. So I'm flipping those over, and those will cook for the last 4 minutes. Now over beside that, I've got some potatoes cooking because we're having mashed potatoes, and then green beans from the garden that I canned last year to go with these. We're making a gravy with this, so the mashed potatoes also goes really, really well with the gravy. So I'm going to put those 2 on the cooling rack. We don't really want these to cool, but they're gonna just sit there while I cook the last 2 steaks. And they will drain just a little bit onto the parchment paper that I have underneath the rack. So same thing with this, 4 minutes on one side, we're gonna flip it and do it for an additional 4 minutes. Okay, those are finished up. Super easy. Now I'm just going to drain some of this oil into the bowl. We only really want about 1/4 cup of that oil left in the pan for the gravy. We're going to add to that oil 1/3 cup of flour. And I'm just whisking that around so that flour cooks a little bit. You don't want raw flour in your gravy. So we're just gonna cook that. And then I'm just grabbing my, I have a 1/2 teaspoon of seasoned salt. Continue to cook that. Now once this flour cooks, I'm adding 4 cups of whole milk, and I'm going to do that slowly. I'm going to add a little bit in and then stir, and then add a little bit in and stir. It does help to make sure that you don't have big lumps of flour in your gravy. You want that to continue to cook down, and you want that to get smoother and smoother as you stir. So I'm going to finish adding the rest of this milk, and then I'll stir for a little bit, and then I'll continue to stir until this thickens up a little bit. 5 to 10 minutes is usually what it takes. Today it took about 5 minutes until it got to the consistency that I wanted. You don't want to get it too thick because as it cools it's going to thicken also, so maybe just a little bit not quite as thick as you want it, you know, is where you want to stop cooking it. You want to take it off the stove when it's just a little bit less thick than you actually want it. So we're just plating this up. Now I didn't try this because I was just trying to get dinner on the table. But it was fantastic. My husband and my son really enjoyed this, and with the mashed potatoes and green beans, it was a perfect Southern comfort dinner. So I hope you try this recipe, and if you do, leave a comment down below. and let me know what you think about it. And maybe you tried some different sides with it and loved that too. So yeah, just let me know. And thanks for joining me. I hope to see you next time.